Getting my hair cut. Yes, haircut has been acquired. Speaking of haircuts, this is why I do not believe in a fundamentalist, creationist depiction of God. Okay, if there's a God that exists, okay, that loves me, bear in mind, why on earth would he give a 22-year-old male this hairline? Yeah, that's just abuse. It's all fun and games to him, isn't it? Not to me. Anyway, for me, paradoxically, the less hair I have, I think the better it looks. It doesn't take much time for it to grow out and then start to look a bit crap. But I'm working with what I've got. Fortunately, I can grow a beard. God knows what I'll do if that starts falling out. Just cry myself into a hole of self-loathing, probably. But yeah, on the way to the gym, gonna hit a back day, film a few bits and clips, might do another voiceover, might do a little explanation after, I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, catch you at the gym. Okay, so here I am just doing a warm-up set. I'm just doing 5 pull-ups, I believe it is, body weight. Start off with a slightly curved back and then I change it to more of a gymnastic position, just engaging my abs and getting that sort of anterior pelvic tilt. Again, trying to get those, get that core working. My reason for doing a warm-up set is just again trying to get those tissues slightly warmer. If you get a bit of synovial fluid released in the joints, but again I'm also just trying to prime my central nervous system, so when I do come to putting more weight on with a weighted belt and still doing my pull-ups, it doesn't seem as intense, so it gives me more of a mental edge so I can apply myself, and I think I've got it. It's all in mind. Here I've got an additional 20 kilos between my legs. That's just to make the exercise a bit more intense, allowing me to overload my back muscles a bit more. If I didn't have that weight between my legs, I wouldn't be able to train within the 8 to 12 rep range going all out. You can see I was putting wrist wraps on. It does look like a bit of a cop-out, however, the purpose of this exercise for me was to focus on overloading my back muscles, and the leather grips put on this pull-up bar just spinning your hands as you grab onto them, which would have changed the focus from back to forearms. So to avoid the focus of the exercise being changed to forearms, I used some wrist wraps so I could really just focus on contracting my back. The second set was a lot harder. Movement wasn't as smooth and I had to rest slightly longer in between reps, and in the third set I couldn't maintain the same number of reps as I did in the first and second set, which to me is a good sign because it shows that the intensity or i.e. the weight I was lifting was about right. Nothing to be said here really, this is just your standard bent over row, making sure you've got a nice straight back, bent hips, and trying to pull from your elbows, not from your wrists, so you engage your scapular retractors and not your biceps so much. And again, going for the 12 rep range here. In the last set I don't quite manage 12 reps. That's not because I wasn't capable, simply because I bottled it. It was just a pure bottle job. Starting off with a lighter load here, again, not to warm the tissues up, but just to prime my central nervous system for a heavier weight that I'll do after this set. Again, your typical lat pull down tips here. Try and pull from your elbows and not your wrists. Again, engaging your lats as opposed to your biceps and brachialis so much. Think about trying to tuck your elbows into your back pockets, or getting your elbows to touch your hips is a nice way to make sure you're keeping the line of or path of your arms as they should be.
Key tip for a seated row or any kind of machine like this is making sure that your starting position isn't too far back, so you've got to try and keep your chest in contact with that pad as much as possible. This machine is designed to be most effective as a third class lever, and if you lean too far back then it changes to a first class lever, and it's much easier. It's a bit of a cop out if you lean much further back. If you don't understand that, Google what lever systems are and then that'll explain it all. Right, I'm going to leave it there. I want it to be short and sweet and I don't want to rabble on too much, so I'm going to try and continue this trend and I'll see you in the next video.